Buenos, días, meine lieben Freunde, und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Danganronpa. Im letzten Part haben wir äh, bitte sehr ruhig. Ich habe aus Versehen mein YouTube-Video angemacht. Wo ist mein Tab? Wo ist mein Tab? Ich kann den Part nochmal von neu beginnen, Alter. Ist das jetzt im Part? Hat man das jetzt gehört? Ich hatte ein Experiment gemacht. Ich habe ausgetestet, wie es wäre, wenn ich beide Kopfhörer benutzen würde. Das war mir aber zu laut dann. Beziehungsweise ich hätte mich selbst halt dann sehr schlecht gehört. Hab den Kopfhörer wieder rausgenommen und dabei ist mein YouTube-Video wieder angegangen. Anyway, im letzten Part sind Hifumi und Taka ermordet worden anscheinend von Robo Justice. Ja. Hifumis body discovered in the nurse's office. Taka's body discovered in the equipment room. I was witness to two nightmares, one right after another. No, they weren't nightmares. This is harsh reality. Ja, das ist schon was, womit man nicht gerechnet hätte, dass zwei Leute gleichzeitig sterben. Das ist ein Fakt. The two nightmares, this reality, the reality I have to face every day. But still. Why is this happening? Haben beide nichts zu sagen. Toko liegt auf dem Boden. Toko? Don't tell me. Toko too? Relax. She just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right. When Toko is Toko, she has a fear of blood, huh? We've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Just leave her be for now. Like he said. Ich würde das lieber alone for now. Ist irgendwas zu sagen? Ja. Nö, da hat Sakura wahrscheinlich auch nichts zu sagen. The floor is covered in Takas drying blood. Ah ja, wir sollen mit dem Justice Hammer reden wahrscheinlich. Another hammer. Now it's Justice Hammer 4 and it's even bigger than before. It's a suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka too? However. But why is it Justice Hammer 4? Huh? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1, and Hifumi was hit with Justice Hammer 2. But this time it was Justice Hammer 4. What happened to number 3? What's the matter? Well, you mentioned Justice Hammer 3, you just reminded me. Out with it! Do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one that's been killed. Hifumi is dead too. What? Hifumi's been killed? Yeah. I see. Which is why you came to get us. Then we better go check it out. Of course, come on! Sakura, Byakuya and I rushed out of the physics lab. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab... Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up. Yeah, I heard. Hifumi is dead, right? Indeed. Well, that is not all. It is gone. Huh? What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared. What? What did you say? What are you talking about? Disappeared? Don't be ridiculous. Come on. Are you serious? What the heck is happening here? Everyone, back to the nurse's office. I practically leaped down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. I couldn't believe my eyes. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes earlier. It just disappeared? Me and Celeste went to the bathroom, but we were only gone for like a minute. And then when we got back... This must be the work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We are all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died. What did you say? I don't believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear. Why? First, there were two murders. And now one of the bodies has been taken? This is unnatural. Huh? The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities. some consider unnatural. Hold on, what do you mean 2 murders? Taka has been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
It can't be! Taka too? It can't be! It can't be! No! Hina, calm down! We're all gonna die! All of us! They're gonna kill all of us! Then who might be the next target be? Toko? Huh?
What?
I completely forgot! She's still unconscious in the equipment room! You left her at the scene of the crime? We didn't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up.
Huh?
So she is still unconscious? Yet you knew she was still up there and said nothing? Why? That annoying little insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her.
Bastard!
You bastard! Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting. Right now we need to hurry back. I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die. Byakuya, if something happens to Toko, I'll never forgive you. We shot out of the nurse's office and bolted up the stairs, heading back to the 3rd floor. We went back to the equipment room at full speed, and when we got there... Taka is weg. Toko! Taka is weg! Yo! Thank God you're okay. But right away I noticed there was something very different here. It was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right here, has disappeared.
This
can't be happening! Are we hallucinating all this or something? No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before. But what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before. Ich bin 14 und das ist lieb.
Huh?
What? Are you saying Taka disappeared too?
Stop talking.
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish into thin air. Obviously, whoever did this has hidden the body. But why would they do that? I can't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our custom suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree. We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us.
Possible.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that. Huh? Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these dead bodies? When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the 3rd floor.
So.
After that, we split up into 2 groups. And now this time you all came here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only one who could have done this are Hibo and Kyoko, who are still missing. Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us. You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you are in love? That's not it at all! Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi.
Let's see.
Which means the suspicious individual we are looking for can be none other than Hibo? Nein, mein Boy würde doch niemals jemanden umbringen, oder? Nein, das kann ich mir nicht vorstellen. Hibo, Bruder. Further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that. Oh, that's right, there's a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people. Right. As long as that rule is in place, there will not be a 3rd murder. If they were to break that rule... It's Mincia! Mincia without a second thought! Mincia grinds your tongue into paste! By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish, like shrimp or crabs? Indeed.
Let's see.
So since 2 people have been killed, there is no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger. I still meant it when I said we'd better be off without her, though.
In other words.
Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies. 2 missing bodies. 2 people have been killed and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it is Hiro. But is he really the killer? What about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
What?
Hey Makoto, what's the matter? Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. Whatever, we need to find those bodies or our little narrative here can't move forward.
So then...
Very well. Then let us split up and begin searching.
But...
But... there is no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during this case.
'Cause, I mean...
I know that. I think I do, but... if you're still nervous, I come with you. Okay, thank you. No need to thank me. Sakura ist voll die gute Seele aus der Gruppe, habe ich so das Gefühl. Man hat so, guck mal, wegen ihrer Appearance hatten wir ja auch am Anfang so ein bisschen Angst vor ihr, aber eigentlich ist sie voll die gute Seele von uns. Then let's get moving. Yell out if you find anything. Miyako left the equipment room followed by the others. I have to try and find the 2 missing bodies. Ja, wie? Und jetzt wieder hier chillen? Jetzt wird wieder hier gechillt, oder wie? Also von der Musik her meine ich jetzt. Weil die Musik so entspannend ist. Keine Ahnung, hier vielleicht? Ich bin wohl nicht der Einzige mit der Idee. Habt ihr irgendwas gefunden? You need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that? Ich wollte nicht mit der Wand reden. Yes, Monokuma Coin! Where could the 2 bodies have disappeared to? Huh? The door must be locked. Ja, wie? Und das findest du jetzt nicht suspicious oder so, dass die Tür plötzlich abgeschlossen ist? Vielleicht hier? Wo sind denn die anderen alle? Hier ist Toko und der können wir ja nicht reden. Sind doch alle verschwunden. Wo sind Byakuya und Celeste hin? Keine Ahnung. Hier unten vielleicht? I better look around this floor first, okay. Getting tired of this. Ach, Monokuma. Makoto.
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean?
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Saka's bodies had both been hidden in the repository. I've already shot Hina and Sakura. We'll go on ahead. The bodies were in the repository? Das war doch abgeschlossen! Wollt ihr mich gerade verarschen? Leute! Aber okay. Wenn ihr meint, Peak Plothole, aber egal. Ignorieren wir einfach mal. Are the bodies here somewhere? Klär mich auf, Bruder. I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. If I had this, the repository, the door knob turned. I guess it's unlocked. And I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw... Beide tot. Byakuyas Blick gerade auch, so richtig superior. Er hat einfach den supreme look of superiority. The 2 bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
And so here we are!
The Monokuma file!
Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file! I was going to hang them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right. Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting
Oh, make sure
for
to
you.
investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class
See ya
trial.
later.
See ya later! Well then, now that we found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit. Hold on! How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know?
Terrible.
Dead, gone forever, they're never coming back! Awful. This is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. Sie klatscht at Hifumis lifeless body.
Who would do this?
Die Arme, die macht es voll fertig, man merkt das voll.
Why?
Also, um den Fettsack ist es mir echt nicht schade, Alter. Hoppla. Lord, tears fell from your eyes. Um den Fettsack ist es mir echt nicht schade, Alter. Ich meine, der hat mich eh nur abgefuckt. Ich meine, okay, der war schon lustig. Ich hab keine Armhaare. Also wird mich nichts zurückhalten. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. This was some world of make-believe that might have been what when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. Oh, lebt einfach! This wasn't.
He's alive again? Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming? Hifumi! Wake up! Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak. Come on, you gotta wake up! I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
Memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me.
Nein, stirb nicht nochmal! Komm, bleib am Leben!
The tail of a comet. Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
Nein, es war wirklich Hibo. Nein. Mein Bruder. Der Typ, mit dem ich die gleiche Mutter haben will. Nee, warte. Der Typ, der die gleiche Frau ficken wird wie ich. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. Wo hab ich eigentlich mein Handy liegen? Ach, hinter mir. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps.
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. Then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hero is?
This.
If that's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time it's not at all dead life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble. Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this. Make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Investigation? Yes! First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well.
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. What if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma
Be rude.
appears!
Here to answer your question. What question? You're talking about accomplices, right? Pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
Ja.
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it. So are you saying nobody worked together this time either? Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets
So
nothing.
in other words,
And we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class, why what you need to determine is the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened, so that's one person. That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So, dann kommen wir an. Sprechen ist schwierig. Mir ist auch aufgefallen, dass ich das mit dem Vorlesen nicht mehr so gut hinkriege. Da muss ich nochmal dran arbeiten. Zum Beispiel, ich habe mir das Video, also ich habe mir den letzten Part nochmal angesehen. Hero habe ich richtig gut gelesen gegen Ende, aber am Anfang war das irgendwie schlecht. Und das war zwar in den letzten Parts auch schlecht. Aber deswegen fange ich ja auch an mit dem Spiel hier, weil ich später noch viel coolere Charaktere lesen werde. Ne? Die Charaktere hier sind ja schon cool, aber ich werde später noch viel coolere Charaktere lesen. Und das ist eigentlich eher so eine Übung für mich jetzt. Gerade auf die Fangames freue ich mich, die Leute da zu lesen. Aber bei Hero und bei Byakuya will ich mir schon Mühe geben. Und Byakuya kriege ich irgendwie auch nicht mehr so gut hin. Ich habe den in Chapter 2 so gut gelesen. Und gestern in Chapter 3 irgendwie nicht. Und heute irgendwie auch nicht so. There can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. And I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to the case after all. You may be right. That's true then. Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation. I have absolutely no doubt that he was responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information. No, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect, just in case? Talking about the murder with fiend, genocide Jack. Huh? I'm offended! Ja! Ach so, und sie lese ich auch echt gut, finde ich. When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you the milksack swimmer girl. Milksack?
gotta be kidding.
Why do I gotta be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. So what, am I like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body. Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. You don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
Insane.
It's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about. On another topic, should we post the guard duty by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again. Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless in the investigation
clear.
anyway. Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. I bet one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it was me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Wir werden sehen. Ja, die Malettas interessieren mich. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall. Although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the glasses hammers have been decided using these as a model? Ich glaube, da hingen auch im letzten Part noch mehr. Ich weiß es aber nicht. Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's red. Did someone wash it recently? Wir kümmern uns gleich noch um die Leichen. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. Kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Parker's body? Look at the wheel. There's a bloodstain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Eine sehr gute Frage. Vielleicht wurde Taka damit ja bewegt, aber die Frage ist immer noch, wie Hifumi bewegt wurde, weil... Gebt euch das auch mal, ich finde das so witzig, wie das einfach so ein 2D-Sprite ist. So... Gut, wir reden jetzt erstmal mit den Leuten, die noch leben. Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh, what is it? After Hifumi's and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around again, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. We came right to the repository to, you know, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. Richtig, ging uns ja genauso. It was locked? Du warst selbst hier vorhin! Sag das doch nicht so, als würde es dich überraschen! And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. And if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? It's one and the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in here. But I probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Ja, ich glaube Sakura gibt uns nur ein Recap. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Would you like my help? Nein, weil wir wissen es ja schon. Wir haben es ja miterlebt und ich weiß eh alles. Ich weiß alles. Yakuya, do you really think Hiro did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name. And there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, how would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. Ja, es ist so, Hiro ist einfach dumm. He ist keine dumm, er ist richtig dumm, Alter. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I see there's a clue hiding in there somewhere. Is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things, like why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we wouldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. If that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did they bother killing two people? What? Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing two people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out. Hold on, perhaps... Let's see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Bye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Gute Frage. Das Ding ist, wenn einer von beiden tot wäre, da könnte man ja so sagen, so, yo, die haben sich irgendwie wegen Alter Ego gebieft und irgendwie dann hat der eine den anderen umgebracht. Aber sind halt beide tot. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found last time a form hanging his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out onto his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Seit wann lese ich diesen Text vor? Habe ich noch nie gemacht. Gebt euch das, es ist einfach so ein 2D-Sprite. Hätte man das nicht besser machen können irgendwie? Das hätte man auch besser lösen können. Hifumi's big cold body is lying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? In the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third. And all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from the last hammer 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office. Where's his body right now? That's it, his glasses! And his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. Oh, stimmt. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? Who would do that and why? Hifumi's glasses. Guck mal, wie groß sein Mund auch einfach offen ist, da, da links. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked that someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that's certainly someone. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, dann Equipment room where Taka was found. Okay. Dann würde ich sagen, beginnen wir mit dem, mit der Site, wo Taka gefunden wurde, weil das ja direkt hier ist. Ich werde mir übrigens nachher wieder Nudeln machen. Während des Classfights werde ich da auch wieder Nudeln essen. Ich habe zwar heute schon einen Teller Nudeln gegessen, aber beziehungsweise schon einen ganzen Topf Nudeln gegessen, aber egal. Ich glaube, ich bin eh fett, Alter. Scheiß drauf, Alter. Ach man, Taka tut mir so leid, Alter. Also wie gesagt, um Hifumi ist es mir echt nicht schade, aber um Taka. Was willst du hier? Sleeping right here. When the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed. I missed such an ultimately where I went. Ist so, Alter. Du hättest einmal nützlich sein können. Huh? This tub. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. And just recently too. Wait, das ist nicht relevant? Das ist Hammer 4. The weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. Okay, aber wir können uns zumindest sicher sein bei einer Sache. There's some kind of mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could the blood have come from here? Which could mean Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Okay, wir wissen jetzt, wie Taka bewegt wurde, aber wir wissen immer noch nicht, wie Hifumi bewegt wurde. But even if Dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was on the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even for Dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. Umgekehrt wäre es wahrscheinlich möglich gewesen, einfach die Treppe runterschubsen. That's still a total mystery. Leave the equipment room, yes. Wir porten uns. Ich habe nämlich keinen Bock, jetzt durch die ganze Schule zu laufen. Der Case ist wahrscheinlich der beste aus dem ganzen Spiel. Muss ich einfach mal so sagen. Weil er einfach so komplex ist. Würde ich das tatsächlich sagen. Oder zumindest der beste bis jetzt. Über die zukünftigen habe ich mir noch gar keine Gedanken gemacht tatsächlich. Da müssen wir dann zu kommen. It doesn't normal trash can. Oh wait, there's something inside. Too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. Okay, interessant. Und wie das Ding aussieht. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Ist das nicht Princess Puddles Pitley oder wie auch immer die alte heißt? Ah, but it's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Ah, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth. And it's all bloody. Übrigens, ich hoffe, dass heute die erste Episode wird, in der ich einen Classfile habe, die mich meine Mutter nicht abfuckt. And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. Who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me neither. But I think it might be important. Die Bloodstain können wir nicht untersuchen? Okay, dann, ne, Justice Hammer free. The one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body, but left the weapon behind. Riddle waiter. Wonder if there's anything to drink inside. So everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There are a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. Doesn't help me though, I'm not a vampire. Geil. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything precisely speaking. Wie, faule Sau, Alter. I'm simply going around seeing if Hero might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just taking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, huh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office. Ach so, sorry, das sagt er. When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's
Yes,
office, right?
indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. Ich kann mich nicht dran erinnern, was Hina das gesagt hat. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. Carrying off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Okay, was jetzt? So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant it, but you ended up making this little game of us very interesting indeed. Und dafür hat er mich jetzt die ganze Zeit gesucht, nur um mir zu danken. Das ist so untypisch für ihn. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an
It's all
impression.
clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is... Things grow ever more exciting. Vorhin hat er sich doch darüber aufgeregt, dass es alles langweilig ist und jetzt plötzlich, hä? Voll der Typ, Alter. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. Goodbye. Hero's room, als ob wir da einfach rein können. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? Können wir da wirklich einfach so rein? Ich bin gespannt. Ist auch eher selten, dass wir in einer Investigation in den Dorms sind, oder? Ja, obwohl, die erste Investigation hat sich nur hier abgespielt, gefühlt. Und die zweite auch so ein bisschen, ne? Hero's room ist hier. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Yaku had said to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Okay, sehen wir uns erstmal seinen Raum so ein bisschen an, ne? Ich bin ja ein bisschen neugierig hier. Was hat der da? Der hat da so einen Tisch mit so Karten. Der Okkult ist Bullshit. Der hat jede Menge Bücher. Da hat er irgendwas an der Wand hängen. Dann da irgendwas wegen seinem Palm-Reading wahrscheinlich. Das ist Hero's room. There's all kind of weird stuff in here. Where'd he even get it all from? More importantly, das frage ich mich halt auch. He still hasn't turned up. That means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Wir können uns den ganzen Kram, den er hier hat, gar nicht ansehen. Och, schade. Aber das hier können wir uns ansehen. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and something's made out of... It looks like cardboard, plastic and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hero's room. Wait. These blueprints. Have the arms bent like this. Das ist wichtig. Die Arme müssen sich so bewegen können. Something about them bothers me. Robo Justice Blueprints, okay. Yes. Aua, ich hab mir gerade wehgetan. Wartet mal ganz kurz. Hilfe, ich habe aus Versehen Auto angemacht. Dann kann ich die Aufnahme pausiere oder so, wenn ich mich verletze. Nee, alles gut, alles gut. Ich dachte, ich hätte mir aus Versehen eine schwere Verletzung zugezogen, aber ist nicht so. Okay, alles super. Makoto, big news, big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done, there's more big
Just
news.
a second.
Robo Clusters showed up too! Yo, Robo Clusters, let's go! Robo Clusters! It's Hibo wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. I think Hibo and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I went off to the second floor as fast as I could. Da hinten seid ihr ja, Freunde. Kyoko and... Phew. Man, I've had the worst day. Hibo? Was? Was geht hier ab, Leute? I am positive that that is the suspicious individual that attacked me. Apparently, that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you. Robot Glasses finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him. Hiro?
Oh, hey, Makoto.
Yeah, duh. Who else would I be? That's a good question. Huh? What? Do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? Illuminaten! Oh yeah.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was clamped into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
Still can't believe you kicked me! You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something. That's creepy. Außerdem wird sie das machen sollen, wenn du den Anzug trägst. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? It just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace. There was something I had to check up to. Check up on, sorry. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind. Never mind!
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? Ich glaube, es ist ihr egal. First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that. Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, I don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up and then I was here. I don't care. Something about the costume. It pains me just to look at you. Well,
Let me out of here.
ich finde es so geil, wie er in dem Moment sagt, let me out of here! I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
Got it all wrong.
I didn't make the stupid freaking thing! It's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. You look plenty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice, let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Phew, phui at last! Ach, Hiro, so schön dein Gesicht zu sehen. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So then...
More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Honestly...
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
Okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too. And it's obvious the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
The worst.
Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
that's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Richtig. Ja, Hiro. Guck mal, wie er sich freut. Yeah, I mean... Attacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake Hiro running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Ich muss Hiro mehr wie Hiro sprechen. Ich hab vorhin noch mich selbst gelobt dafür, dass ich gestern so gut hinbekommen wollte, dann mach ich's nicht. Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the robot Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is?
Das nehme ich als Thumbnail, Alter.
I mean, come on.
Obwohl, warte mal, ich muss einen Screenshot auf dem Laptop machen. Moment, wie mache ich das nochmal? Ich glaube, ich muss hier auch, hier? Ja. Okay, und jetzt muss ich mit der Maus hier ziehen. Ja, passt schon, kümmere ich mich später weiter drum.
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention,
Celeste sich ja auch extrem am
you
amüsieren.
totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
Abgesehen davon waren wir ja eh alle die ganze Zeit zusammen, von daher. In a half, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, no, you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's cause you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up... Wie er uns jetzt auch so rumschubst. Was ist mit ihm? Against my will, I picked up the pieces of the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can
Just
wear
a
this.
second.
See, I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show some
the
evidence.
heck?
What the heck? Evidence? Hä? Was willst du von mir? Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? He was the only one without an alibi doing this whole
That's
thing anyway.
terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? Wir reden wie immer erstmal mit den anderen.
Oh.
I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to turn up at the same time. But where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea. Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? Hoppla. But you are quite protective of her, yes? That's because she's helped me so much out until now. If I were the mastermind, this is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. Ja, aber sie ist ja nicht das Mastermind. So, das ist ja nicht die Vermutung. Die Vermutung ist ja, dass sie ein Spy ist für das Mastermind. Entscheidet euch bitte für eine Anschuldigung. Looking more and more like it really was a setup. See, it looks like she's lost in thought. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I better leave her alone.
What the heck?
There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, two people were killed. Taka and Hifumi.
What?
What? Two people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it!
Please.
I did not! Gerade war der so am Rumheulen, please! Und jetzt so, hä? Warte mal, irgendwas ist komisch. Wait, hold on. Those two are the ones that were
How
killed.
about that?
That's it, I know who did it. How about that?
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
At least 30% right.
Which means Alter Ego and or Shihiro must have done it, willst du nicht? Junge! Oh, der Typ macht mich fertig, Alter! How about that? Ich hab ja gesagt, das sagt er immer, wenn er die größte Scheiße redet, ey. Junge, 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 ey. Das Ding ist, ich will's gar nicht erklären, aber ich erklär's trotzdem. Junge, wieso ein Lab... Komm, spaß mir, Alter, ich spaß mir. Der Typ labert eh nur Scheiße.
correct.
I see, that's unfortunate.
Please.
Huh? Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
So.
I know. That note. Note?
Um.
Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole, maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason I fell asleep. The real killer probably drugged me or something. Not a chance.
So...
No, hold on, he could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. Secret passage, a chance to escape. So, what all that to trick me? Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Ja! Was? Was war das jetzt auch für ein Sound, Alter? Es klang wie, als hätte er ein Messer in den Bauch bekommen. They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it. You should buy it. Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
No way. Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious? Yeah, so Hero's account has been added to the truth bullet section, okay. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hero! No, it's like I said!
The worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? That must be it. You must be totally broke and that's why... Wait, that's a false accusation! Someone help me! Just be thankful you haven't bound and gagged you! If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? You're right, I need to look for the second suit in that note! Feet, don't fail me now! I guess I'd better get back on that guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko, Genocide, to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on your hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone fled peeled away. Do you have a second? Huh? Was willst du jetzt von mir? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later when we have time. Can you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. Das war eine sehr harte Antwort. To elect me so simple. Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you?
Shall
Okay.
we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me. Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey.
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer? We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. Und dann werde ich mir Nudeln machen. Dann werde ich erstmal eine kurze Pause machen müssen. In the repository, then I guess we should head that way for now. Ich gucke erstmal, ob hier irgendwer chillt, mit dem wir reden können. Ihr kennt mich ja. Okay. Ach so, wir können uns nur auf diesen beiden Gebieten bewegen gerade. Okay. Fumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go with it, but only for a moment. Well then, let's get started. Let's get it started! Ha! Ich liebe dieses. Ne, das müsste ich eigentlich auch an jedes meiner Videos schneiden, aber ich schneide meine Videos nicht. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies. The Monokuma-Fall was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Ja, dem Monokuma-Fall konnten wir auch bisher immer vertrauen. Der hat uns zwar diesmal weniger Informationen gegeben, aber... Ne? Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Oh, Makoto, du bist in love. Auch wenn ich Sayaka immer noch mehr mag. Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with glasses hammer 4. It was laying on the floor in the equipment room. And there's a tarp laid out under his body. The killer must have used it to move Taka's body. That way it wouldn't leave any bloodstains as it was moved. Ja, okay, Kyoko, hast du noch irgendwas zu sagen? Makoto, I found something. Yes! You did? Do you remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? Ja, hat er doch auch im letzten Part gesagt. Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. You said he had a watch?
So then.
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. Das passt aber nicht, weil die Uhr steht ja auf 6 und er ist ja anscheinend vorhin getötet worden. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just as past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime last
That's
after
right.
6? But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared. Junge, was ist denn heute gut, dass heute ein Class Trial ist, Alter? Das wird auch, ja, ich werde ja heute jetzt jeden Tag lesen müssen, weil ich ja jeden Tag Danganronpa aufnehmen werde. Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know, it's bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
In other words,
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Okay,
however,
and that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
Can you try and pull it out? Me?
has
Vigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. First I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. Vor allem, wisst ihr, ich finde das so, wisst ihr so, sorry, dass ich darauf so rumreite, aber er hatte Character Development, wisst ihr, und dann stirbt er einfach. Whitehair Taka war so ein cooler Charakter, finde ich. Den hätte ich gerne in einem Class Trial erlebt, aber nein, man musste die Opportunity ruinieren und ihn töten. Das ist tatsächlich das ist wirklich so der einzige Charakter, bei dem ich so denke, so ey, den hätte man doch leben lassen können. Hättest du irgendwie einen anderen nehmen können, hättest du Hivo nehmen können. Komm, scheiß drauf, Alter. Naja, nee, Spaß. Nee. Nee. Dann wäre uns diese lustige Szene von vorhin erspart geblieben. A
Hey.
piece of paper? Is that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it? I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumis'
then.
body. It's like Hifumis' body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues on his own. Kyotakas scrap of paper. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. Just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Glass's hammer 3, which he found in the nurse's office, but when you found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses are completely covered in blood. But now they are spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that and why? Ich wollte nicht mit dir reden. So, did you find anything? I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of
That's
paper?
right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden.
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
Was das his pants, not like his socks or something. Ach so, ja stimmt, Socken wären viel schlimmer. I don't know what that means. Zumal der Typ ja auch immer gesagt hat, der Typ hat ja noch im letzten Part gesagt, ach Mann ey, da geht meine Gelegenheit flöten, mein erstes Bad hier zu nehmen. Und Hivo so, ja, keine Sorge, nächstes Mal wird's bestimmt klappen.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. And I think of how it was stuffed down his pants. It's like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? I found a hole, maybe you can use to escape. Nakuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM.
so...
That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hivo said! Then he was telling us the
However,
truth. Although, it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone flipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe you can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. Ja, richtig. The time is different. Himo told us his note said to meet at 1 AM. But the note that they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 AM.
Is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had that note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully. Why would he have been clutching the scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea. What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Habe ich jetzt irgendwie nicht so ganz verstanden.
Hey.
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks has nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. Okay. Yeah. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. Okay. Und das war die Investigation. Oh yeah.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school.
Let's go.
See you soon.
Let's fucking go.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Ich will nicht. Einer von uns wird heute wieder sterben. Und ich hoffe, es wird nicht Hivo sein. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there.
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello! He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys say which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Tough crowd.
You're not playing along. Along. We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine.
Hey!
Everyone's here and ready to go. Please board the pain train. Elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay, then shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hivo. You're gonna pay for your sins. I told you already, I didn't do it, for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. Der Arme! Ein bisschen Leid tut mir davon. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom. She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. For the two people who lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. Wir reden aber mit allen. I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes. Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time.
Hey,
The trial begins when we get down there.
Yes, yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it! It wasn't me, you gotta believe me! Also irgendwie wirkte er schon sehr genuine. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was on board, the doors closed on their own. And the steel box began to move. Boah, ich hab so Hunger, Alter. Gleich Peak-Nudeln, ey. Ich freu mich. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator's doors slid open, opening up into a cool fade. Habe ich da einen Fleck auf meinem Fernseher momentan? Nee, das ist mein Mauszeiger. Ich muss den mal wegmachen, ey. Ihr seht den zum Glück nicht, aber ich sehe den. When I see all of you gather together like this, I realize less of you are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only because of you. Oh hi. Why are you making us do such cool things to each other? What? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute. Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, cause I'm gonna start it. Never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Wir speichern. Wir senden uns noch Skills, bevor ich mir was zu essen hole. Oh, mein Ohr ist aber echt am Jucken, Alter. Increases Time Limit. Ne, das brauchen wir ja nicht. Haben wir ja schon beim letzten Mal gesagt. Set ich so aim a little. Naja, brauchen wir eigentlich auch ne, oder? Ja, mal gucken. Ich glaube, es gibt bessere. Wir haben wahrscheinlich einige neue Skills durch die Freetime-Events bekommen. Oder? Irgendwie nicht. Lost to live two bullets at once. Das könnten wir jetzt eigentlich gebrauchen. Können wir irgendwas abnehmen? Ich würde tatsächlich den ablegen und den anlegen. Und dann können wir auch den anlegen. Dann haben wir alle unsere Skill Points benutzt. Okay, Freunde, ich würde sagen, wir machen gleich das Class Trial. Ich mache mir jetzt erstmal Nudeln. Ja. Eine Stunde nehmen wir schon auf. Okay, ich denke mal, wir werden für das Class Trial auch wieder so 2 Stunden brauchen. Also, bis gleich. So, Freunde, wir sind wieder back on track. Ich glaube, ich war so ungefähr eine halbe Stunde weg oder so. Zeit für meine Nudeln und Zeit für das weitere Aufnehmen. So, Licht ist aus, Nudeln sind da. Class Trial kann beginnen. All wise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
By the way, ich finde, ich weiß nicht, ob ich das schon mal gesagt habe, ich finde diesen Look im Class Trial Raum am geilsten von allen.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment.
Oh, so geile
But
Nudeln,
if
Alter.
you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
Das ist ein hartes
I
Argument.
didn't.
Darf ich
Someone
ganz kurz
knocked
was
me out.
testen?
I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Ist leiser geworden für euch? Ja, aber für mich. Aha, so fällt ein, wie laut das für mich ist. Okay. Glaubt ihr, es war Hivo? Ah. Wartet mal, ich muss mir hier mal ganz kurz bequem machen. Ah, das ist wie, als würde ich eine Serie fahren. Du sagst das?
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know.
Hivo really the killer? Or for anything else we have to make that clear? Yep. Ja, los!
Everything we found in your room.
Welche Bulle brauchen wir denn?
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Ich glaube, wir müssen auf die Blueprints gehen. Killing evidence that he was the killer. Is that really true?
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all
Yes!
No, it's wrong.
Und das war jetzt wieder so ein Moment, in dem ich nicht wusste, welche Bullet ich nehmen soll.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Sorry, ich hatte den Mund voll. Ivo ist viel zu dumm dafür.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto,
Aha.
are you saying you don't think Hiro's
Bringt nicht viel, wenn er es über sich... Es bringt nicht viel, wenn er das über sich selbst sagt. Das ist genau wie Taka gestern. I'm the ultimate moral compass. I would never do something like that. Ja, no.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
Byakuya, let's go!
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
Ja,
Is it
Hiro.
like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Das war Hiro. And of course he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
I got it!
Illuminati.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just
Suspect.
said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
Yo, was?
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
Also das
We
bejagt wieder
must
der Einzige
clarify
im
the
Brain.
method of transportation for
Abgesehen
Taka's
vom
lifeless
Kyoko.
body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto,
Okay.
can you tell us what they were?
Natürlich ich. Ja, einmal das hier.
I got it!
Und das andere ist... der Dolly.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain.
Please explain.
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and when we found it for the second
no?
time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Macht Sinn, ne?
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
Ich würde auf sowas niemals achten, aber okay.
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Wie willst du das in irgendeiner Form bewerten? Du warst nicht mal dabei.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room.
Die war nicht mal dabei. Die war im Nurses Office die ganze Zeit mit Hina, als wir Takas Körper gefunden haben. Was soll die Scheiße denn jetzt?
It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
Einen Moment, Freunde, wir sind sofort wieder da. So, Freunde, wir sind wieder back on track. Ich habe mir einen neuen Teller Nudeln geholt.
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along and you simply didn't realize it?
Woher willst du das wissen? Du warst immer noch nicht
She's
dabei.
raised an objection. How do you respond?
Ja, vielleicht stimmst du mir zu? Ich meine, du warst doch dabei.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Jo, was wird jetzt so unfreundlich?
We've all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Was ist mit der? Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Die Bloodstain. Was kommt jetzt? Ja, gut, okay, der Skill, den wir ausgerüstet haben, wird uns wirklich was bringen. Die Bloodstain, deswegen ist das so.
You have it wrong. You are a fool. So pathetic. Do your worst. You miserable wretch.
Jo.
I cannot agree. So pathetic. Do your worst. You have it wrong. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Away with you.
Away with you!
You miserable wretch! I cannot agree. So pathetic.
Okay, final strike. Equipment room bloodstain. Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Wenn ich jetzt zu lange gewartet hätte, hätte ich Schaden genommen, von daher musste ich hinmachen.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much? Ich verstehe das Problem auch nicht wirklich.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then... what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Ja, aber wahrscheinlich muss ich es erklären.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Eine sehr gute Frage. Peak-Frage. Robo Justice Costume
As
brauchen
you
wir.
know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Mein scheiß Ohr juckt schon wieder, Alter. Macht mich das wütend. Aber hey, immerhin habe ich meine Kopfhörer wieder. Wenn ihr mehr dazu wissen wollt, schaltet bei Super Mario Star Road ein. So, der Part kommt wahrscheinlich erst in 3 Wochen, aber egal.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle...
Was mache ich denn?
all
Ich
you
wollte es
have
gar
to
nicht
do is
machen.
Bend over.
Da müssen wir drauf.
Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
So schlau.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Ach du Idiot, Alter. Es geht hier darum zu proven, dass du nicht schuldig bist.
As we know, Taka was, and from there,
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto...
now, mind that the
Well, yeah. All you have to...
No, it's wrong.
That's wrong. That's falsch.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
Blind is so bad in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you get anywhere in that thing. Hoppla. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, totally bent at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Ja.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When we can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Ja, das könnte sich auch als schwierig
Well, I
gestalten.
mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Ich finde diesen Fight so attraktiv, keine Ahnung. Exactly, your chance the costume was taken off just to move the body, because he was not strong enough. You take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid freaking thing! There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
Ja.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
Ja.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Stimmt.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Das gab's ja auch noch. How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Oh, Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Ja, dann erklär doch, wie er es gemacht haben soll.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All
I
right
don't know.
then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning.
Oh, ich muss Peak trinken.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moved around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the third floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Yeah. Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Ja, dass Hifumi weg war. Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are you hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for two missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
Der Blick vom Byakuya, Alter.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Broken wristwatch?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
Oh nein.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Oh nein! Oh Gott, wisst ihr was?
The numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Ich glaube, ich brauche das
True
hier
that
wieder.
Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Ja, ich muss jetzt darauf achten, was Makoto jetzt sagt. Oder das Glashammer verrichten.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Ich versuche einfach mal das
I
Logischste.
wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Or perhaps it was after. We already know.
Nein, das ist es nicht. Okay, jetzt geht's wieder los, was ich,
So, I wonder if he. Or perhaps it was after. We already know.
ich weiß halt nicht, was ich worauf schließen soll. Soll ich das auf das andere schließen?
Numbering of the Justice Hammer.
Okay, ich weiß nicht, wie man darauf kommen soll, aber okay, machen wir. Und dann gib mir doch keinen Proof, wo das die Sinn machen würde.
There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Dann macht das doch nicht. Weißt du, das mit der Westwatch würde ja Sinn machen. Weil Hifumi ist ja um 9 oder so getötet worden. Und Taka ist ja anscheinend um 6 getötet worden, weil seine Uhr stehen geblieben ist um 6.
That's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. Ja, wahrscheinlich die Westwatch. Aber natürlich nehmen wir dafür nicht die Pulle. Das wäre ja zu einfach. Wir machen Hangman's Gambit. Oh yeah. Hangman's Gambit ist hier aber echt chillig. Also in den späteren Teilen wird das eine richtige Tortur. Da werde ich mich richtig darüber aufregen. Gerade in den Fangames. Oh Leute, die Fangames werden richtig schlimm mit Hangman's Gambit. Da habe ich ein bisschen Angst vor. Ich brauche einen Tee. Gib mir einen Tee. Gib mir einen W. Gib mir noch einen T. Und ein C. Scheiße. Ein C. Gib mir ein C. Komm schon. Heute stelle ich mich echt schlecht an, aber jetzt werden die Trials auch wieder schwieriger. Wie gesagt, diese Zeitreisen-Scheiße ist halt wirklich so ein Abfuck.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
This simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Jo, schön, scheiße, wir haben ihn getötet wahrscheinlich.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. Vor allem hier ist halt so viel Action passiert, weil der Mord quasi vor unseren Augen passiert ist. Ist hier einfach so viel Action passiert, dass dauernd diese Rückblenden gibt. Das war ja vorher gar nicht so. This is bad. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
What the fuck? Was?
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
Sorry, Leute. Hibo labert doch wirklich die größte Scheiße. Wir müssen das aufgenommen haben und How About That? Das wäre so ein Moment gewesen, wo wieder How About That kommt. Aufgenommen und... Oh, Junge, ey. Und... What the fuck? Nein! Mann! Lien, Mondo und Shihibo sind aus der Schule rausgegangen, um Fotos zu machen. Ey, Junge, bitte. Bitte halt die Fresse, Hibo. Bitte!
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
Richtig.
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Ich sag nur How About That, Alter.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Was?
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
Dran, Leute, die Occult ist Bullshit. Das ist die Message, die uns dieses Spiel vermittelt. The Occult ist Bullshit.
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
So, sorry.
Alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That... it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Hibo ist auch richtig am Ausrasten, Alter. Mit seiner Okkult. Was ist denn Celeste's Account?
When we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office.
Hifumi's body disappeared when... Macht den meisten Sinn.
There's a chance he was actually still alive.
Vor allem wenn we.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Oh, ich brauche wieder diesen
And you know that
Zeitreisepreis.
how? Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a
Richtig.
chance?
No. If Hifumi was dead, and you know the...
So.
How?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's...
Vor allem, die hört so zwei Body Discovery Announcements und ist so like, ja okay, ich mache hier weiter meinen Scheiß. Was auch immer sie gemacht hat.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
Ja, seht ihr? Und die zweite kam
So
erst
there's a
später.
good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Aber die zweite kam ja später, als wir die beiden im Repository gefunden haben.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Mein Finger tut grad scheiße weh, Alter. Wie kommt das? Hä?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Ja, warum sollte er auch?
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Oh ja, endlich tut er nicht mehr weh. The second body discovery announcement. First time it played when we found each body in the nurse's office and equipment room. Second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
We
Mein
heard
Ohr
it the
juckt.
second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Ja. Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered after a certain amount of time. Wartet mal, Leute. Oh, der Text ist einfach weitergegangen, weil ich Auto anhatte. Geil. A certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually
Ja, dann
rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Mhm.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I the worst logic I have ever heard.
Jetzt mich verarschen. Pivo hat schlimmere.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Yo, warum bist du so gegen uns heute? Was ist mit dir
Okay
los?
then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
It has to be proved that Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Mir ist aufgefallen, dass wir richtig wenige sind jetzt plötzlich, weil 3 weniger Leute da sind. Ne? Wir hatten beim letzten Mal noch Mondo, Taka und Hifumi und die sind jetzt halt einfach weg. Was halt eher so Fan-Charaktere waren. Hifumis Glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do.
Immerhin haben wir dich noch als
The first
Fan-Charakter.
time we found Hifumi's
Und Ivo.
body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
Ja.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
The reason I can say Hifumi was still alive. I can find the contradiction in the statement. What?
Well, here's
Yeah.
one thing. The first time we found
Die
Hifumi's
Brille.
his body disappeared.
And the next time it was in the
But when you compare his body with other than the
How it was positioned,
Was? Your meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time. Oh Mist, ey, ich bin so schlecht heute. Was ist denn mit mir?
well, here's one thing. The first time we found Hifumi's and then his body disappeared.
and the next
Body
time it was
disappeared.
in the
But when you compare his body before other than the change, there was no
Ja, okay, Alter. Ja, das war eine Falle, Alter. Das ist Absichtungsspiel. Die machen das extra gelb.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His
Yeah.
glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
I'd love to fill you in.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... Ich frag mich, wie lange das Feuer noch gehen wird.
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Ich hatte einfach recht damit, aber als ob sie sich den Namen gemerkt hat.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's
Ja.
a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
Ich habe ein Problem damit, aber dazu kommen wir später, weil eigentlich macht das, was jetzt gesagt wurde, gar keinen Sinn. Das ist ein Plot-Hole, aber da kommen wir später
So
zu.
let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Ja, the man himself, Hifumi Yamada.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
Sakura stand
While we
auch
were
als
all gathered in the
Auswahlmöglichkeit.
nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Jo,
But
voll der Typ,
that
Alter.
means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Der Zettel, ne?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Natürlich sind wir wieder gefragt. Thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be... What the fuck ist jetzt los? Die Grafikfehler.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Yes, his pants. Ich finde das immer so witzig, wie sie das sagt.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Nein, ist es nicht.
Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other
Nein,
words,
natürlich nicht, wenn ein anderer
Hiro
Inhalt
got
drin
in
steht.
touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it!
Ja,
That's
schade.
right. Taka!
Wenn man da jetzt gerade Hifumis Pants ausgewählt hätte, wäre irgendein witziger Dialog gekommen. Da hätte ich zwar auch wieder Ein Herz verloren, aber das wär's mir wert gewesen.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
Oh naja, was
I
kommt
don't
jetzt?
really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ja, das sollte klar sein.
Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide lag is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Oh yeah, let's go, Freunde! Was brauchen wir denn jetzt? Hä?
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
Okay, ja, und?
Doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Doch, habe ich. Okay, gut, da bin ich doch noch drauf gekommen. Sehr schön.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
Das ist halt so.
If they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Ach, Wurf, Junge, lass mich doch einfach meine Guesses haben, Alter. Look, Hifumi stole the note from Taka.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means
fine.
Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Oh, du hast einmal was Schlaues gesagt und dann musst du es direkt wieder ruinieren. How about that?
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Richtig.
Trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus.
Yo.
What are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the
Boah,
Monokuma file...
Boah, Bro, sagt endlich mal was Schlaues, Alter. Er hat sogar den Monokuma-Pfeil gelesen, Alter. Boah, Hivo, du erstaunst mich gerade.
The way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Genau so denke ich auch gerade.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
Natürlich. Du bist die ganze Zeit gegen uns und hast keine Ahnung von nichts, Alter.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Weapon was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. I have to find the truth. Ja, natürlich, wir wissen ja die Lösung. Und zwar ist es der Spotless Hammer. Let's go.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
Jo, irgendwas ist da draußen gerade in die Luft geflogen.
That's about it.
Jo, was ging denn da jetzt ab? Wartet mal, ich muss da ganz kurz aus dem Fenster schauen. Einen Moment. Ich glaube, da hat irgendein Bastard jetzt schon wieder irgendwie Silvesterböller hochgejagt, Alter. Aber es klang so, als wäre da irgendwas explodiert, Alter. The weapon used to kill Hifumi really was similar to the weapon used to kill Taka. Ja, es ist der Spotless Hammer.
What if there's one? How was the culprit? And how did nobody witness? Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com!
Well, what's the murder weapon?
No, it's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice hammers used those as a basis for their designs.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
Richtig.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but not yet. Oh ne, wieder die Zeitreise.
That have been laid out for us. Even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Und das ist genau das, was ich meine. Kyoko hat jetzt gesagt, ey yo, das was du gesagt hast, ist Schwachsinn. Wir müssen das jetzt nehmen und auf sie schießen. Das ist doch... Es ist doch so dumm.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
Und es ist ja super gelaufen, dass der Accomplice dann einfach Hifumi umgebracht hat.
They would each have an accomplice for their crimes, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Das ist schon krass.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
That's what made to convince us. Two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. It is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko is really amazing, although when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The two killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Du kannst es nicht gewesen sein, weil China die ganze Zeit bei dir war. Du könntest es gewesen sein, aber es würde keinen Sinn machen. Du warst es auf keinen Fall. Du war ohnehin nicht. Waren das alle? Und du warst bewusstlos. Und kannst nur du gewesen sein.
Here's my answer.
Weil du die Einzige warst, die den Typen überhaupt gesehen hat.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
Naja, in Chapter 2 hast du ja auch mit ihm interagiert, ne?
But I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Alter, sie wird richtig wütend, Junge, einfach nur aufgrund dieses Faktes, dass wir assumed haben, dass sie Zeit mit Hifumi verbringen würde. Was?
Pardonnez-moi.
Französisch, ich bin wieder Französisch.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that they're incoming? Paper hidden in Hifumi's pants. Why is everyone obsessed with Hifumi's pants? Please take this a little more serious. Bad call on my part. Nee, das musste sein, Alter. Encountering the suspicious individual. Eigentlich auch das Screaming, und ich weiß, dass ich jedes Mal an dieser Stelle das Screaming sage, aber es ist tatsächlich nicht, was die meinen.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Okay. Ja.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Jo, was geht jetzt ab? Erst hast du die ganze Zeit die Fleißarbeit zu mich. Makoto, do you care to explain to them how it happened? Und jetzt so, ja, the adults are talking now. Typ, Alter.
Sorry.
Voll
As
der
he
Typ.
said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
Ja.
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. Leute, wie oft kam diese Rückblende heute? Diese Rückblende kam doch locker jetzt zum 5. Mal.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
2 Minuten 20 sind wir, oder 30. Nee, 20, okay. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into 2 groups? I lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well then. Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Yo, voll smart.
I just realized another strange thing.
Ey, die Adults, die Erwachsenen reden jetzt, halt's Maul,
When
Alter.
we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered. Stimmt, sie hat direkt gesagt, dass er ermordet wurde. Auch wenn es eigentlich offensichtlich ist, wenn man es so sieht, aber...
You were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
Aber damit wir es halt auf keinen Fall bezweifeln,
You
so.
wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We are all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Sie wusste noch nicht, dass Taka tot ist.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Because that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to? Byakuya rastet richtig aus, Alter. Der nimmt die richtig auseinander. Okay, welche Bullet brauchen wir denn jetzt? die Frage.
All I said was,
Oh, ich glaube, ich brauche wieder diese scheiß Zeitreisenfunktion.
really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated.
Das hast du nicht gesagt.
We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys.
Und darauf muss ich schießen, aber was muss ich da drauf schießen?
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it?
Der hat richtig
What
Spaß
was so
daran.
strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
Nein, ich hab nicht getroffen. Oh, fuck, Alter.
And that is all.
And that's all it takes to...
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Ja, komm, Alter, mach hin.
All I said,
No tenemos todo el tiempo. Todo el día.
They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
No, that's wrong. Wait.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
This?
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Oder Himo. Okay, aber Himo ist auch ein Typ. Von daher, okay, ich halte mein Maul.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Piekte Fans, Alter. Vor allem, du hast bei der halt wirklich so das Gefühl, so, guck mal, die anderen Killer waren ja eher so, ja, ich hab bei Clans getötet, so, ne, ja, ich hab so ein bisschen in Self-Defense, ne, man kennt's. Der andere ist ein bisschen ausgerastet und hat seinem Kumpel eine Handel auf den Kopf gehauen, ne, passiert. Typischer Dienstagnachmittag, gerade bei so Motorradgangliedern. Und die einfach so aufchillig, ja, voll den Plan ausgeheckt und alles. Also das ist ja wirklich Peak-Mord hier. Mein Ohr juckt schon wieder, geil. Okay, Leute, weiter geht's. Wir müssen ja heute noch durchkommen.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
Ah, ja, das Foto. Stimmt,
How
ja.
do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Ist das deine Defense?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Just, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? It wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. The only other possibility is Hifumi and the suspect had been drinking. Komm, scheiß drauf, Alter. No, I really don't think that's right. Looks like I'm embarrassed. Ach, Mann, ey! Mann, gib mir doch eine lustige Antwort. Mach doch irgendwas Lustiges, Alter. Sei doch einfach lustig, Junge. Hifumi and the suspect are dancing. Das will ich jetzt nicht aus, Alter. Dann komm ich wieder einfach nur einer auf die Fresse. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away.
Hoppla. Sorry, ja.
I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Richtig.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Ja.
The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
So. Nobody messes with my boy.
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
Jo, was ist jetzt seine Defense?
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Jo, was geht jetzt ab? Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away, but is that really possible? Okay, wenn das Theme kommt, wissen wir, es geht dem Ende nahe. Robot Glasses Costume, A-Hand Book, Portless Hammer, Yoshichiro's Message. Keine Ahnung, was gewollt ist.
Who dressed me up in that suit after I passed out?
Boah, wie wütend der auch ist.
Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Ach, sieht
As
so
you
geil,
can see
Alter.
in the picture, the suspect is standing
Peak cross
perfectly
material.
upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Ja, ich weiß, wo die hin wollen.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Was? Plötzlich ist Hiro wieder der Culprit? Wir haben doch established, dass er es nicht war.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out.
How about that?
You tried to make me look
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside the there's no way they could stand up.
No, it's wrong.
No, that's wrong!
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Totally can't bend it away. It's like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Oh, was war das für ein Sound?
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Dreht die jetzt völlig durch?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Checkmate.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Und? Hi, Hifumi. Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Oh.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hakakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Was ist mit dir, Typ?
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
How about that? Das ist so, Alter.
He did say
Typ, Junge.
Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
Mein Ohr juckt schon wieder. Junge, das macht mich so sauer, Alter. Wieso? Das passiert halt nur, wenn ich nur einen Kopfhörer drin habe. Ich verstehe nicht, warum das passiert.
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Mir rastet ja vollkommen aus, Alter. Und mein Arm juckt. Ich kann den Text nicht drücken.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Also, er hat... He said for serious a lot. Nee, das ist eher Hero. For serious. Er hat uns beim Nachnamen angesprochen.
That's right. Our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Richtig.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Richtig.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation?
Mann, ich habe gerade eigentlich gelacht, als Byakuya Don't Talk gesagt hat, aber das hat irgendwie nicht aufgenommen.
No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up!
Junge, die rastet richtig aus. Was ist mit der?
Is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. So then. I have to do something to make her accept that. Jo, noch eine Runde mit dem Theme, Alter. Let's go! Wir brauchen das E-Handbuch.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not
How long
pretending.
master yells on
It's
people?
the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is! Moron!
Ich möchte ganz kurz einmal sagen, dass,
Hifumi was trying
wenn
to
das der Fall ist, ich nicht weiß, woher Hifumi das wissen sollte.
How long do you plan to... I'm not pretending, and since... You have no way to contradict me, that's the only
Ach
truth
komm,
there is!
ey.
Moron!
Junge, ich habe noch 1 Minute Zeit, sehe ich da oben. Jo, Peak, schwieriges Zeitlimit. Wenn ich das jetzt nicht schaffe, bin ich wahrscheinlich tot.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
Ich muss auf diese Dinger noch schießen, das wird extra Zeit.
Pretending? It's the truth! And since you have no way to contradict...
Wenn ich jetzt nicht getroffen hätte, ne? Das ist das Problem, dass ich das immer einmal durchlaufen lassen will. Hoppla.
That's it! The handbook!
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. No, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything.
Habe ich den Recap, der am Ende kommt, eigentlich beim letzten Mal gezeigt? Oder habe ich den geskippt? Ich meine, ich habe den letzte Woche geskippt. Moment mal, ich muss mal ganz kurz in die alte... Scheiße, ich die Aufnahme nicht mehr, ne? Ne, ich habe den Part gelöscht. Scheiße, also ich habe die Datei von meinem Laptop gelöscht. Muss ich ihn mir wohl ansehen auf YouTube. Leute, wir sind gleich wieder da. Okay, doch, ich hab den Recap laufen lassen. Okay.
That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Junge, versuchst du gerade wirklich bei der irgendwie moralisch...
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Okay, let's go. Climax interference. Okay. In this case, how did the killer recruit the accomplice? Hifumi sieht auch richtig hässlich aus in diesen Bildern hier. Der wird richtig so als Bösewicht dargestellt. Obwohl er einfach nur dumm ist. What time did the killers call their victim to the rec room? Byakuya. Um 1 Uhr nachts. Bro sieht auch peak müde aus, obwohl, nee, warte mal. Nee, das war ein anderes Bild, oder? Ja, genau hier, das ist das Bild. Bro sieht auch einfach peak müde aus. Was wollt ihr hier von mir? Ah ja, die Kamera, ne? Ach, Hifumi, du bist so ein Arschloch. Einfach... Mann, Taka tut mir so leid, Alter. Nur weil dieser Fettsack dumm ist, Alter. Ich meine, okay, wir sind noch nicht so weit, dass es irgendwie zum Motive kommt, aber... Hifumi ist richtig unsympathisch, einfach durch dieses Chapter. Just tell me was used to kill Taka. What number was it? Das war die Nummer 4. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Der hat Last Nummer 2, ne? Hifumi used something to move Taka's body. The weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi, what was it? Nein, Vorsicht, Vorsicht, ne, das, ne?
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that, but while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. We took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Grüßt euch.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Sehr interessant. Ja, wahrscheinlich Peak wenig Punkte jetzt. Ja, guckt ja dann, Alter. 44, 34, 24, 16, 95. Ei. 105 Punkte, die wir hätten haben können, die wir nicht bekommen haben. Egal, ich beschwere mich nicht. 119 Monokuma-Coins, das ist immer noch viel. Das ist immer noch einiges.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it?
Oh, scheiße, er sagt noch was. Scheiße, das habe ich gar nicht mehr gesehen. Tut mir leid. What's it gonna be? Und wir haben recht. Natürlich haben wir recht. Ey, was ist mit der Musik, Alter? Seit wann kommt in diese Situation denn das normale Theme, wenn wir draußen chillen? It's basically a formality at this point. Once again, you're totally correct. The black at this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking theme was... Celestia Ludenberg! Or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro!
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations. She really did approach Hifumi with this plan. How did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality. Lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... It was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego? Worüber sonst? Guck mal, guck mal, wie witzig das jetzt wäre, wenn sie jetzt gesagt hätte so, ey Monokuma, übrigens, die haben so einen Peak-Laptop und, ne?
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt, we're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
And you're the one that stole it? That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. Wie sieht denn dem sein Raum aus? Du siehst gar nichts, weil der Typ so fett ist, Alter. Oh, what are you doing here? I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I taken you know what to Takas room earlier and took pictures of it there. Wie kriegen die das hin, dass die immer in irgendwelche Räume rein können? Einfach so, ohne irgendwelche Probleme können die einfach in irgendwelche Räume rein. Ich check das nicht. Wir vorhin bei Hero, die konnte einfach in Takas Raum reinspazieren. Wie, hä? Und abgesehen davon hat Hifumi nicht rumgeheult im letzten Part. Oh, ich hab meine Princess Pickles vom Piddly Puddly Pitch hier nicht. Du hast sie doch in deinem Zimmer hängen, du Bastard. I deleted the picture as soon as I shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me, he threatened me. He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. Wie? Mit der Kamera, die du gerade in der Hand hast? Oder wie? He said if I did not, as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. That's a crime. An absolute crime. Der Typ so völlig am Ausrasten. Alle anderen realisieren irgendwie, dass Taka der Ultimate Moral Compass ist. Es gibt sogar ein Meme darüber. Finde ich das Meme? Moment, ich suche mal das Meme. Let's Meme mal wieder. Ich habe das Meme nicht gefunden. Schade, es gibt irgendwie so ein Meme. Irgendwie, ja, genau was ich gerade gesagt habe eigentlich. Hifumi, wie er ausrastet, als Celeste ihm das erzählt hat und alle anderen realisieren halt, dass Taka der Ultimate Moral Compass ist. Auch wenn er sich sehr verändert hat in letzter Zeit. Also Taka ist er immer noch der Ultimate Moral Compass. That's a crime, an absolute crime! I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him!
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target. Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you. What?
Indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself. That bastard!
Completely unforgivable!
Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow to continue with these... Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
I have to save her!
Actually...
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a weird pain in the butt too. Wie will der das denn in... Das war ja gestern Abend dann. Wie will der das denn in einer Nacht gemacht haben? Die haben Hero... Guck mal, ihr müsst euch das so vorstellen. Wir sind ja wieder in unsere Räume gegangen, als Nighttime war. Das heißt, es war 22 Uhr. So, Celeste wird wahrscheinlich kurz danach, also schätzen wir mal frühestens 22 Uhr, zu ihm gegangen sein. Um 1 Uhr haben die Hero unter Drogen gesetzt und in diesen Anzug gesteckt. Das heißt, Hifumi hat 3 Stunden, weniger als 3 Stunden gebraucht. Nee, Moment. Ja, doch. Hifumi hat weniger als 3 Stunden noch diesen scheiß Anzug zu bauen? Wirklich? Macht keinen Sinn. Peak Plothole. Ach so, ich wollte ja auch noch was sagen zu der Glasses-Geschichte, ne? Da habe ich ja auch noch gesagt, dass mir da ein Plothole aufgefallen ist. Ich finde es sehr interessant, dass Hifumi sich mit diesen Blood Packets so hat aussehen lassen, als wäre er getötet worden, sich dann die Gläser abgeputzt hat und er hat ja später nochmal einen Hammer auf den Kopf bekommen, dann hätten seine Gläser eigentlich nochmal schmutzig werden müssen. Just saying. Außerdem kann ich mir sehr schwer vorstellen, dass er sich nur die Brille geputzt hat. Hat er sich wirklich nur die Brille geputzt und das restliche Blut blieb an seinem Körper? Like, das muss ja auch eine richtige Sauerei gemacht haben. Also muss er sich ja das komplette Blut abgewischt haben. Und demnach hätten auch seine Gläser, also seine Brille hätte später auch wieder schmutzig werden müssen. Na gut, egal, wir hinterfragen das nicht allzu sehr. Aus dem Gesichtspunkt, dass Hifumi... Jawohl, ja, es macht keinen Sinn. Es macht einfach keinen Sinn, okay? All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But that's my fault for picking him in the first place. So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry. But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part of him about him playing that? What he's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of that, but he just barely held on. Did you really believe that? Well, of course, it wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that and he believed it. That seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along? But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you? That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Myakuya!
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what makes you take things so far? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our life here began, my only thought had been escape. But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously that was a lie! Ugh.
Hey!
I couldn't take it, I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here. Ich darf nicht so schreien. Ich kann nicht schreien, Alter. Hör auf zu schreien, Alter. Es ist halb 11 nachts. I wanted to get off. Every day was fresh torture. And do you wanna know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. I have a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for that dream. And what was the
isn't
dream
it
of yours?
wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to get a handsome, fresh man from all over the world to serve as my butler/bodyguards. What the fuck, wie creepy ist dieses Bild, bitteschön? Was macht der Typ da unten? I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Du bist crazy, Alter. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made the dream a reality. I got way to the edge,
There is
but
nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very ends. So why would I?
Just the worst.
Sounds so passionate, but you are really able to kill your own friends for it? Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel
Do
nothing.
you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled and I can take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotion. That the conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not
Yes,
scared?
indeed.
That's why. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Oh, jetzt geht's los. Well done. Okay, then let's get things rolling. That Leuten disturbed the peace and must pay the
Now
price.
then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Eventuell auch nicht. Game over. Burning of the Versailles Witch. Nein, sie wird verbrannt. Erinnert ihr euch an vorhin, als sie noch zu Kyoko gesagt hat, I'll burn you alive. Sie hat schöne Beine da. Warum achte ich da jetzt drauf? Ne, das habe ich vorhin schon gedacht. Als ich in den anderen Part reingeschaut hatte, nämlich bei dem Recap. Ach Mann. Bisschen warm, ne? Jo, Peak Feuerwehr. I'm just saying, aber ohne sie wären wir schon längst tot, weil wir ohne sie niemals Mondo als Klivos Mörder gefunden hätten. Das war's. Können wir jetzt nach Hause gehen? Toko ist wieder Toko, sehe ich gerade. Und vor allem, bei den letzten beiden Executions waren alle so richtig schockiert, wenn jemand executed wurde. So alle so, oh mein Gott, nein. Und hier jetzt so, yo, guck mal, Hivo ist da hinten am Chillen. Der sieht richtig glücklich aus. China sieht glücklich aus. Takua und Kyoko sehen aus wie immer. Genauso wie Toko und Byakuya. Keiner heult rum oder so. Nö, nö, das ist einfach so. Yo, ist halt mal wieder jemand gestorben, ne? It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of the regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. You guys are still young, you need to place more value on your lives. Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation. What do I care about hope? Ach so, er ist doch nicht so glücklich, wie ich dachte. Let me out of here! What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but it's reality. It just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? Fuck, was war das gerade für eine Voiceline? How strange. Die Voiceline kannte ich gar nicht. Ich muss mal eben was trinken. How strange. Die Voiceline kannte ich echt nicht. Ich spiele das Spiel gerade zum 3. Mal und ich kenne diese Voiceline nicht. Nee, ich spiele das Spiel gerade zum 4. Mal. Ich habe es einmal mit Celine gespielt, dann einmal alleine, dann nochmal alleine vor einem Jahr. God, I'm sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh, exciting! Wow! Oh man! Oh jeez! Oh man! Oh jeez! What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean? Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I do anything about it, of course.
See ya later.
Woohoo, see ya! Kuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Richtig, wir haben wieder Alter Ego. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but it's a key that Celeste gave you. Most likely, it's a key that to one of the dressing room lockers. What? Then that means Celeste probably hid it there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said, I'm going to go alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later. Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As he spoke, he glanced quickly at the surveillance
Come
camera.
on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know? Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does it mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I try to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the keys Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. Mein Ohr juckt schon wieder. And as the locker swung open, we saw... Alter Ego, du lebst! Good morning. Was für Morning, Alter? Wir haben Nighttime. Peak Nighttime. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. That's what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
No.
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me? Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? It just makes me even more worried. Worried? Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. Did you do that?
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I am the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you. You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action. Midnight steht da sogar. The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in a storage closet there. Way in the back. He said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Chillt hier irgendwer? Ihr kennt mich ja. Ich muss mir mal eben mein Auge eincremen, das fängt wieder unnormal an zu jucken, Alter. Yo, die Toiletten hier sehen viel freundlicher aus als die in den Dorms, merke ich gerade. Können wir uns hier drin frei bewegen oder? Ne, können wir nicht. Just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? He said it was way in the back of the storage closet, but I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. A shunk. At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Yo. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor there's a storage closet. And way in the back of that closet there's a secret room. So this is a secret room, but what's in here? There's a bunch of files and what look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Haupt's Peak Academy student registry? This is the only thing that in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file through my hands. Before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. Was? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand it. It said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. A strange sensation. It's like a déjà vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Yo, was geht jetzt ab? Nein, wir werden totgeschlagen. A strange sound rang out through my head. I felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Alles weg. Geil, Alter. Alles weg. Nur weil du dich kurz pennen gelegt hast. Oh, apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. But that throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone! The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? My brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain on my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... Was geht jetzt ab? Huh? And from a vast distance I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound. It's coming from the limb? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the limb, the sound got stronger and stronger. Yo, der Gunk! Fuck yeah! What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here, in the limb? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the limb. The sound coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Hecha, Bakyu! Hagagya, Haya, Pachin! Okay, reicht. Jo, was? Sakura kämpft gegen Monokuma? Before me, there waged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No. One sentence not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Out of the deal, was?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay.
Das heißt, Sakura ist der Spy?
You do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is the next generation legend, Centaur Galactic Hero. Ein erneutes Chapter, in dem 3 Leute gestorben sind. Und nur noch 7 Leute sind da. Sakura, Hina, Kyoko, Toko, Byakuya, Hiro und ich. Oh, geil, Alter. Das rahm ich mir ein, Alter. Das hat mein Leben verändert, Leute. Okay, Leute. Ja, okay. An dem Punkt machen wir im nächsten Part weiter. Also morgen geht weiter. Am ersten Weihnachtstag. Oh yeah. Ich hoffe, ich kann am zweiten Weihnachtstag auch aufnehmen, weil da muss ich mit meinem Opa essen gehen. Wenn nicht, dann boxe ich den behindert, Alter. Der soll mir hier nicht, der soll mich hier nicht davon abhalten aufzunehmen, der Typ. Voll der Typ, Alter. Peak-Typ. Anyway, Tschüsseldorf, Leute.